Hi everybody, it's Andrew here. It's going to be a pretty quick tutorial this week. I'm just going to show you a few little things that will help improve our game. On the last tutorial we did a bit of boundary, so game over. It's game over when the ship gets to the bottom of the screen, and the ship stops when you get to the top of the screen. And that's about it really. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to actually display game over when it says game over, because at the moment it just stops and it's a little bit confusing. So you may not, if you're playing this game, it kind of looks like it just freaks out and kind of just stops. So we need to kind of give kind of need to explain what's happening. Another thing that's kind of annoying, I mean this has been up here since tutorial 1, the text, this is where my game will go and the score, and we kind of want to integrate this a little bit more, or the score anyway, we kind of want to integrate it into the canvas. So let's just get started. So to start off with, I'm going to go down past the script into the HTML here. So I'm going to get rid of the title, so I'm going to get rid of that. Also I want to give this paragraph an ID, so I'm just going to simply call it score. I want to create another paragraph and I want to give it the ID game over. So this is going to hold our text, that's going to simply say game over, and this text is going to display when we hit the bottom of the screen. So at the moment, if I refresh this now, it's as you can see at the top it says score 500 and game over. If we go into our CSS and create a selector for score, basically this here is selecting this paragraph here. If you don't know about CSS, it's pretty simple. There's a lot of good tutorials out there, but to put it simply, this selector here is going to select this paragraph with this ID. So we're going to use the selector and we're going to say position absolute. This is going to, I put posture instead of position. So this is basically going to let us put the score onto the canvas itself. So we need to make that position absolute. We're also going to create a selector for game over. We're also going to make that position absolute as well. We're now going to select the margin parameters we need. So the first one here tells us how far from the top margin we want the text. This one says how far we want it from the right margin. This one is the how far we want the text to be from the bottom margin, and this one is how far from the left. So we want the text to come right down to the bottom of the canvas here. So we want, seeing as the canvas is 300 pixels in height, I'm going to put 150 pixels. So that means score 500 is going to be 150 pixels from the top margin, and it's going to come down onto the canvas about here. So if I save that, so for the margin for the game over text, we I want it to be around about the middle of the screen, so we want it to be about halfway. Want it to be about halfway down, and we want it to be about in the middle of the screen. So I'm going to put 150 pixels, and from the right margin, we want it to come across around about 200. Now, if I refresh the screen, you'll see that the text has suddenly disappeared. It's actually here on the canvas, we just can't see it because it's black on black. So the score, I'm going to change the colour of the score to yellow, and I'm going to change the colour of the game over text to red. You can use hexadecimal values for this, but just to simplify it a bit more, I'm just going to write yellow and red to make it easier. Now if I refresh it now, as you'll see, the score actually scores in the wrong place. It needs to come down a little bit more. I'm going to make that 280. As you'll see, now the actual text is on the screen, so it's kind of integrated into the canvas a lot better. So you've got the score here, which eventually we'll have it so it's going to change, and the game over text is in the middle for when the game over for when it's game over. At the moment, the game over text could probably be a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type font size equals 20 pt. Now the game over text is a lot bigger. I could actually, now it's got a bit bigger, it's come across the screen a little bit too more. So if I make the right margin 180, so there you go. Now we don't want this game over text to display all the way through the game, because I mean it's obviously not the game over yet. I'm still, you know, flying about here, so I haven't actually hit the bottom boundary of the screen, so it shouldn't be game over. So what I need to do is make it so that the game over text only displays when I hit the bottom of the screen, like so. So we're finished with the CSS. If we move back to the JS file, we need to create a new variable. I'm gonna put it just here, and we want to target the actual. We actually want to target the ID of. So I don't know what happened there. Just move them around. We want to target the game over tag. So what we need to do is reference that up here. So I'm going to type end game equals $ bracket and game over. So this is the game over ID, which is the ID for the paragraph tag, and this is basically put what's ever in the game over ID in the end game variable. So if I save that, now in order to make use of this, if we go to the start game, type endgame.hide. This will mean that whenever the game is started, the end game variable, which is holding the game over text, will hide. It will basically make it invisible. So if I save that and refresh, you'll now see that the game over text has disappeared. And so that's made it a lot better. So now all we need to do is make it display when I hit the bottom of the screen. So if you remember, if we go down to where the boundary check was made, now in this condition we if the player hits the bottom of the screen, the play game boolean equals false, so everything stops. But what we can also do here is say end game, reference the end game variable dot show, sorry, show, not shoe. Now this is pretty obvious, you probably know what it's going to do. It's going to reference the end game variable, which references the game over text, and using this function here, it's going to show the text. So now if I refresh the screen, yeah, you go, when we hit the bottom of the screen, the game over text shows. So it's basically made it a little bit more playable. It's kind of described what's happening when we hit the bottom of the screen. It's going to inform the player that that it's game over and they need to refresh the screen. So that's it for now. I just wanted to show you that quickly. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you do enjoy my videos, please subscribe to my channel and have a look at my other videos. In the next tutorial, we are going to be taking this a stage further. We're going to be creating some asteroids that we can avoid, and basically make it playable, because at the moment it's pretty boring. You're just going up and down with a ship. We want to make it so it's actually playable. So we're gonna create some asteroids that we can avoid. Thanks very much. I hope to see you in the next tutorial.